Good morning. I'm going to make up another river scene, an idealised river Wandle. I paint it as I think it might have been a couple of hundred years ago before it was built on around. But it is having a renaissance now with huge amounts of money being spent on it to bring it back. It's a suburban river. It's a very large, fast-flowing stream rather than a raging torrential river. But it was a very busy river in the last century, in the 19th century, with many mills working on it, and there's only one left now. But it's a great resource, and it's much loved now after many, many decades of neglect. Like canals were neglected, but they've come back as a leisure resource, which is wonderful in a city. So. The problem when you do a river or lakeside scene is to put all the interest and the focal point going towards the middle, whereas better practice would be to weight one side and make the other side really subordinate. So I tend not to put great grassy banks on, but I'm going to try and do something like that this time. I'll put the weight of the trees on the one side. So I'm going to wet the paper all over, and if you want to know, this is Fabriano, £130 weight. It's 15 inches by 11, and I buy it from Grantham's Arts at discount in blocks of 100. It's very economical, very inexpensive. The brush is a Ron Ransom 2-inch hake, or just under 2 inches. I think they're made in China. They're a very good brush. And I know a lot of you struggle with it and despair and want to quit and go back to more traditional stuff. But this brush, if you persevere with it, will reward you richly. You can do almost anything with it, from delicate roofs, twigs, branches, trees, anything. And it's just a matter of practice. I've done a lot of it and make it look easy, as does Steve Cronin, but it's not easy, but not impossible. Why should it be that easy? I've worked very hard at doing the little bits of stuff that I do. It gives me great pleasure, but I've been doing it for years, not using the hake. I spent years doing oil paintings without a watercolour even touching my eyes, so to speak. But when I first saw Ron Ransom's video, then I subsequently bought a couple of books he had published on big brush watercolour painting. It was a eureka moment for me, as it has been for a lot of other people. I'm looking at skies above as they go over, so that's going to be my inspiration. Now I can see in the sky this light cloud, a lot of the sienna light, but there are bits of blue. So I'll just put a couple of random bits in and just paint over them. Now we'll put in some nice cloud, some good burnt siennas, ultramarine, bit of red, and we'll just stroke, get into the blue, leave the blue to shine through. So there's my water. I'll reclip paper as it expands. Now at this stage it's all very unpredictable. We don't know how the paper's going to dry, and ideally you'd want it at a 30-degree angle, but for purpose of demonstration it's easier to do it, for me, about 80 degrees, 85 degrees. So I'll bring this cloud down here just to because I want my big trees over here. I do like a limited palette. So we'll put in a bit of distance. I want a low horizon, and it needs to be quite strong. Right, okay, so this is where we've got our smaller trees on the bank. So I'm going to I'm just using 3 colours at the moment. Right, we'll go back when that dries off a bit, and we'll develop something there. I don't know what at this moment, but the river's going to go around there. When that dries off a bit, I can put the banks in. So let's get some nice rich greens and blues. So I use the sienna, raw sienna, lemon yellow, bit of red, bit of blue. Just darker, thicker, heavier. So it's the shadow area. Plenty of colour in this back here. Bit of warm. Okay. Heavier paint now. Don't worry about bits of white, paper showing through. That's good, because that gives a bit of sparkle to the whole thing. Now I can either paint the background a bit darker there, which I probably will, and leave that, paint around that, bit of light on that. Tree, the leaves on the tree there. So I can't really call this the River Wanderer, it's just showing how I approach a sort of improvised scene. A bit of artistic license, bit of nice dark blue there. Okay, that's quite interesting. So we've got a negative shape here, as long as it doesn't merge too much. Now let's get some heavier dry brush over the top there, because I reckon that's about to take some dry brush. It's getting a few cauliflowers developed. But it's always satisfying producing a painting from your own experience, rather than, I mean it's largely imagination, but having been done many times before. Put some reds and siennas in here, blues, deep shadow. It all dries lighter. Okay, let's You've got a lot of trees that go in the direction of the water. We can elaborate on that a bit more later. But I could make that into a reflection, so I think I will. Get some blue in there then. I hadn't intended to do that, but it sort of cries out for it, doesn't it? You see, it's almost abstract. We're sort of doing this on the run. Okay, so all that's lost in the shadow. We can add some darker stuff in there. So I love these blues. Do some in the back. Don't overdo that though. Now here we've got this light, but I'm going to just go over that with the dark now, the dark green, or a greeny colour. So let's just see, that's dry brushing now. So let's just overlay that a bit there. Bit dark in there. Showing some grasses. That is interesting, isn't it? Okay, that'll do. I don't want to go any higher with that, but I want to put in some just add some well, so far that is quite clean. Bit of warm autumn leaves there. Lost it a bit there, I think. But there we are. Let's now. There's not a lot I want to do with that now. other than with a thirsty hake, as Ron used to say. Need to dry it off first though, so take your headphones off. I need to dry brush some ripples and things. So we've got blue and red and all sorts of colours in this, so I'm just there. Now with the thirsty hake, so I'm just squeezing all the water out of it, but leaving it nice and damp, and then we can just give an impression of wind ruffling. Probably got a little bit muddy in there, but what I could do is wet it again with a bit of red, blue, burnt sienna, and just put some of this in here. It's like re-wetting. I'll just break that mess up a little bit. Let's. I'm going to dry that, and I want to get some highlights. And to do that, I'm just going to take a clean piece of tissue, and with this 1/2-inch brush, one of these acrylic brushes, and just where that's catching the light, just take bits of it off. That's better, look. So just on the light side, and this doesn't look like any river that I've ever seen, but I quite like doodling this sort of thing. Ron Ransom was great at it. Stephen Cronin does some good stuff. And I reckon we could put a little figure in there just for focus. Okay, I'll use this little brush here, but I'll put him in. I'll put him in a bit dark. We'll have him just a couple of figures here. Just have a little look there. Probably could be a bit darker. Lovely. Let's sign it. And we'll put a couple of points. The beads. There. That's just gone a bit awry there, but never mind. I'll put that in a mount. I think the blue mounts again would be more appropriate. I'm going to get some more mounts. Well, whatever, very simple. I wish I hadn't have done what I did there now. The blue was okay, this is fine there, but I just, no. But you can't win them all. That's all nice and clean here. That I do like, and I like that side, and I like what I've done there. I hope you do. Let's bring you round. So there it is. Let's zoom in, and you can see that background. I'll just leave that on there. Now I quite like that. That's a nice little passage there. The water's okay. A bit of dry brush. And rather than paint the back there, I've cheated and I've put in these rocks, which I think is okay. Nothing is a portrait of anything. I'll put my little figures in. Oops, sorry. And let's have a look at these rocks. See the nice rocky area there? It looks quite natural. Probably got a bit carried away with the dark in there. But anyway, it's the exercise is to show you how quickly you can change. I'm just going to alter the camera, the tripod. So I've counter changed that against that, but that's more or less the only counter changing I've really done. But it works there. That could have been even yellower there, but hey, when you're making up and trying to do a fast painting, some work out better than others. But I think this has got some good going for it, and I hope you do too. But you'll let me know, no doubt. Okay, I'll think of a title. It's certainly an idealistic waterscape. But have a go yourself. Just let yourself loose with your brush and your water and your paints, and just without drawing, just go for it and have a go. Then if it doesn't work out, turn it over and start again. But if you buy this particular paper, it's very, very good for this way of painting. I wouldn't want to use it for going straight on without wetting the paper. It's not that type of paper. But for this, it is superb. And as it dries, or the water soaks into the paper, look, you can then drag over and get these lovely sparkly effects. So have a go. Bye bye for now.